Happy Friday, everybody. It's Brian Perrian from the Disability Digest, and welcome to our YouTube live session. Today, I am going to address four questions that are what I would consider general interests that were submitted this week that require more than an email response from our support team to address. Um, and then I'll take any questions that you folks have. So when you join, just if you have questions, type them in. It would also be helpful to know if you're approved or not approved. So kind of get a feel for what's going on out there in the audience. Um, so here at the Disability Digest, since 2006, we have been helping people do three things primarily: get their benefits approved faster than normal, hopefully, keep their benefits in the event of a disability review. We want to make sure that you don't lose your benefits. And then once somebody is approved for benefits, we focus on helping you maximize your benefits, which could be making sure that you're not paying for things that you're currently paying for. Could be simple things like your phone or your Medicare Part B premium. Um, and there's likely additional benefits that are out there that you have access to, but you don't know about. Those are the three things that we do. So here in these events is we answer some general questions in an effort to help you out. So what I would encourage everybody to do that's listening to this or the replay, if you haven't done so already, is subscribe to our YouTube channel and then click the bell so you get all of the notifications when we either do an event like this um, or there's a new video that comes out. Um, and in addition to that, if you're not a member, we encourage you to join us or update your membership. And the reason why we encourage you to do that is this is general interest. But when you join us, we get an understanding of where you live, what your conditions are, what your situation is, so we understand how we can better help you get your benefits, keep your benefits, maximize your benefits. So there'll be a link below this video replay. Um, to do that. All right. So welcome. Hey, just got approved. That's great news. Like, did you get approved yesterday or another one? Andre recently approved, haven't gotten paid. All right. We'll talk about that too in a minute. Let me address the questions that I have. I have, as I mentioned, I have four questions. I'm looking on another monitor here because this is where I have my notes. I'm not, playing Candy Crush over here while talking to you folks. Um, so I'm going to start with the two questions that are for those that were not approved, and then there's questions that are related to others that are approved. This one is from Mario. Um, so Mario says the first time I applied for disability was 4 years ago, and got denied at the 5 year mark, and appealed it with an attorney, wasn't successful. So we had to do another application. And his question is on the second application, do I miss out on all of my prior back benefits? And based on the information that Mario provided me, yes, he does. Um, and a consideration for people, folks, welcome. For those of you that are joining, I'm just going to go through a few questions and I'll take your individual questions. And the questions that I'm going through, ones that are submitted this week from members. A few things to consider. If you're going through the disability approval process and you get denied by a judge, you can appeal that decision. It's called the Appeals Council. And once you go through the Appeals Council and you get a denial there, you then can appeal that, and it's called a federal appeal. Not too many people know about this, but when you are denied at the Appeals Council, the level right after the judge, you can start a new application and probably should. And that would be your initial application all over again. Meanwhile, you have a federal appeal uh, case. So if you're working with an attorney, maybe they don't know about this, you can bring it to their attention. Um, but for sure, it's done with individuals that we've worked with, and you could do it too. Um, and that would have given Mario the opportunity to still work on his old case and fight it to the death, and then start a new case. Doesn't guarantee you would get his back benefits. So, um, and just so to recap that, if you're denied and you start a new case, whatever was done in that prior case, you can't. It's not going to be considered by Social Security, right? Um, and here's the other point on that. There are some people, unfortunately, that have been denied and they've gotten frustrated or they didn't know they could appeal. So they just start over again and then they miss all that back benefit money. Okay. Um, all right. This is from Michelle. Michelle has had a lawyer who went to a hearing with her and she didn't feel that he was doing his job. Um, the information he brought to the hearing wasn't up to date, and as a result, she got denied. And now she's going back through and starting another case, much like Mario. And her question is she's at the 90% mark and looking at her My SSA account. And the question is does the lawyer wait for Social Security to deny the case before they start doing anything? I've heard that my lawyer rarely loses a case, but I'm just so worried. It's an interesting question. I don't know the direct answer to it because it's kind of I don't know the person, I don't know the attorney, I don't know their workflow. But what we do here at the Disability Digest is help you understand what you need to do and not do through the process. So if you're using a disability attorney or non-attorney, you can follow along and you can say, well, should have done this. Those forms that you first get, like how should those have been filled out? You, if you have the answers and you take and you look at the work that they do, if they're filling them out for you, or if you're filling out the forms and sending them to them, you could have some fun with them and answer things differently. But point is, how are the forms filled out? Have they worked with you to get doctor's support in writing residual functional capacity reports at the initial application phase? Those are critical. Those are game changers. Have they taught you how to speak to your doctor? Have they helped you in any way, encourage you to get treatment on either, like what have they done? So in our disability approval course that members have access to, and it's no charge for the membership and it's no charge for the course, you get control through spending a few minutes that really you could spend an hour and get a general idea what needs to be done at each step of the way. So for anybody that falls into this, like, are they really doing what they should be doing? Conversation. When you join us, you just, we start the course for you. We help understand where you're at in the process, and then we launch it, and then you can go on your way and hold your attorney accountable. Now, listen, if they're not doing their job, I encourage you to work with them to help them understand what they need to be doing. But you have the right to release them. And I'm not in the business of, messing up anybody's deal, but if they're not doing their work and you made a mistake in hiring the wrong person, just keep in mind that it is your right, as it is for a disability attorney or non-attorney, to release you if you're not doing your job. If you're not going to the doctors, you're making too much money, you're having some illegal, habits, or you're drinking too much. There's all these things that are really case killers. Um, okay, so two more questions, then I'm going to start taking individual questions. And again, what would be great is if in the comments, in addition to your questions or included with your questions, is if you're approved or not approved. That would be helpful to kind of gauge the audience and who's out there. So, all right. Next question is, again, I've got several of these this week. What happens to my check? What happens to my check when I turn 62? What happens to my check when I turn 65? And this is your disability check. So, with Social Security disability, when you get approved for your benefits, one way to look at it, it's the easiest way for my mind to think, is that you get pretty much the same benefit package that you get when you reach full retirement, right? Your check amount is usually within dollars of your full retirement amount, and you get Medicare. So if you're approved at 55, when you reach 62, nothing's going to happen. It's just the same check. You're still a disability recipient. But when you reach full retirement age, the only thing that changes is your status. You are no longer considered a disability recipient. You are now a full retirement. FMA is the acronym that Social Security uses. And then, well, one thing that does change is your disability reviews. You wouldn't be subject to that. And you would not be subject to the income earning restrictions that you are as a disability recipient, which is earning the $970 is the maximum amount a month now. Okay. Uh, Last one. Um, this is an interesting and dangerous one. People, because of the financial issues with the raise of Medicare Part B from 148.50 to $170.10, I believe it's caused a lot of people to rethink their Medicare coverage and question if they should just either bail on Medicare Part B and just have Medicare Part A and nothing else, or this particular question is, if you have a lot of conditions, what are the advantages? Should I just have regular Medicare Part A? This is somebody that watched some videos. I hope they weren't from me because this isn't really good information. But it says, I've watched a couple of videos on YouTube, and some people are saying that more problems you have, the better off you are with traditional Medicare instead of an Advantage plan, right? So, just one super dangerous point on this: Medicare, straight Medicare A and B, is a co-insurance where you are responsible as the Medicare recipient for 20% and Medicare pays 80%. Might be okay if you're just going to the doctors and you're just seeing your primary care. You maybe see them once a year. It's a $200 office visit. You get $40 that you're on the hook for. No big deal. But you also do need to have a Part D prescription plan. Not a lot of money. You can get one for a few dollars. But what are you going to do if you have a health issue, which most people here, like 70% of our members are approved for disability. They're disability recipients. What do you do if it gets worse? What if you get a disability review and you went to straight Medicare and you wanted to cut back on your cash outlay and you reduced your treatment amount? Are they going to look at your disability review and say, well, you know what, if you're going to the doctor like you should, maybe be better, maybe it could work. But the most dangerous part is a major medical event, which people really, it's difficult to control certain things that are going to happen to you, like even a car accident or COVID. Or we had a member here, Doris, she had a diabetic heart attack. She was on Medicare A and B, 4 days in the ICU. She had an $87,000 bill. And she is responsible for 20% of that. It's like 17,000. And you can't walk away from the hospital in her instance because it's the only one in her area. And if she needs treatment and she wants to go there, they know her. Doris, she owes 17 grand. So the danger of just having Medicare A and B is there's no cap on that. And then you can look at a Medigap program, you can look at them, but if you have pre-existing conditions, which most people do that are here, or you're under the full retirement age, the price for that can be on the very low end, a super basic, like $1,200. But most to have decent coverage is going to cost you $5,000 or $6,000 with no significant pre-existing conditions if you can get through underwriting. So that's the breakdown. Okay, those are my 4 points. I'm going to go through the questions Here, all right. Just approved, haven't gotten paid. I don't know how just approved you are, but if you call the local office and ask them for a payment update and a payment status, um, and that is decent for you, then that's fine. Most people that are approved at the initial or the reconsideration level, oftentimes they're paid before they get their letter. So it might be a hearing. Sometimes it could be 60 days. Now, if you're beyond that and you have a problem, there is a video on our YouTube channel of how to use your local representative to get the cash out of them. You call your local representative. I was just approved for disability. It's beyond the amount of time that they said that they would pay me. Uh, I'm behind on my bills, and whatever it is that your personal situation is. Can you help me? And they will. That's what they're there for. Helps keep them in office. Okay, January 11th. Yeah, it's early still, but those are some tips for you. Just received a letter. Now I'm waiting to get a date of a hearing. How long will it take to get a hearing date? Depends where you're at. Um, I'd say anywhere from 9 months to 18 months. This is published information. Here at the Disability Digest, we have a wait what to do and not do while you're waiting for a hearing. And part of it helps you understand like projecting that because it shows you the Social Security wait times for each different hearing office. So if you're a member, just reach out to us. If not, join us. Put in the notes. I have a hearing coming up, and I'd like to get the wait for a hearing course. Hello from Spring Hill. Hello from Charlotte, Vermont. Okay. How do we make an appointment with you? I'm a member, but lost my SNAP benefits. Um, I don't do individual appointments unless somebody is an existing client that we're helping get approved and there's an emergency or an issue, or if they are starting out with us and going to be like a Medicare client. I don't because there's 173,000 people here, and it's just I haven't found a way to make all that work because I wouldn't be able to do what I need to do to help everybody out. But you can definitely put your question in here. You can put your question to support at the Disability Digest. And if you are a Medicare client of ours, you can definitely call in and speak with one of our advocates. They'd be glad to help you. If a person does the Ticket to Work program, do you keep your full check during the 9-month period? Good question. Um, so the Ticket to Work program, yes, is the answer to that. Oh, you mean your disability check? Yeah, you can test the work. You can double dip. That's my understanding of it. Very few people here have. I've known maybe 4 or 5 people that have actually gone forward with the Ticket to Work program. Most people that are supplementing their income just keep it below the limit. So it's a good question. Um, okay, this is from Marlo. I'm wondering after you're approved for disability, how long it takes to get Medicare. Okay, so good question. When you get your disability award letter, it's going to have a date at the top that will say your entitlement date. And it's 24 months from that entitlement date. And the entitlement date is 5 months after they found that you were disabled. So if you were found disabled in January, for example, if you were found disabled January 1st, 2022, your entitlement date is going to be May of 2022. So it would be 24 months from that entitlement date. Just look at your award letter. Um, and another way, actually, that we could help the individual that want to have a direct meeting is we have a team here that does benefit reviews. They're good, they're trained. You could request a benefit review, they could go through the benefits that you have. That's definitely a way that you could get help from us. Um, okay, I'm trying to sell my house and move in with my daughter. Okay, I'm on disability. What are my options? Well, it's not real clear what the question is. I mean, you can sell your house. It's not going to have any impact on your benefits. Um, and it's great that your daughter is willing to have you move in. So, yeah, for sure, you can do that, or you could rent your house out and you could use that income stream as an extra income stream. It's passive income, so it wouldn't have an impact on your disability benefits. Um, so, hopefully, that helps. If not, provide some more details on how I can help you. I'm on SSI, waiting for SSDI approval. Okay, good. I don't see a question there. Um, All right. If you're suing for workers' comp, how does that affect your disability? Good question. There are some people that work on disability cases that do suggest that you wait to get your work comp case settled if you're going for a settlement and then start your disability. But technically, you don't have to. That's just a some people have that practice. It's in their practice of doing it. But you could apply right away. Um, the really the the real question is do you meet the qualifications for Social Security disability? And if you do, can't work, you've worked 50% or more the last 10 years, and you've got conditions that are being treated that prevent you from working those general questions, then you can definitely start right away. Um, Drinking, did you say drinking is a case killer? Well, um, there's different opinions about this. In my opinion, if somebody, it doesn't help your case if you're drinking, more than the socially allowed amount, like they call that 2 drinks a day. If you're a user, um, and using alcohol is one of the limiting factors that is preventing you from working, that could definitely go against your disability approval, right? Then there's some people that say, listen, somebody's in such chronic pain, they're using this to numb the pain. um, so there's that side of it, but it's better, cleaner, easier if somebody is not abusing alcohol, for sure. um, There's a question here. How long does it take to get approved? Oh, all right. Well, this is how I would answer that. There's so many variables, but here at the Disability Digest, when we go back and look at our numbers, the people that we work with, the average person that we work with that we help get approved is 54.26 years old. And there's a 47% chance that they're going to get approved at their initial application if we start with them from the beginning, and get paid in 9.2 months. And the average check is $1,350. So you take a look at the national average for people that apply for disability, it's 32% approval at the initial application. And then if it doesn't get approved at the initial application, it's going to go to a hearing, depends on where you are. Let's say it's going to be another 24 months. And so that could be 24 months plus the 9 or the 10 months, right? So that's the general approval. Key is make sure you do it right. You can do it right on your own with our course and save thousands of dollars. Just make sure you do it right, and then that's the best you can do, in my opinion. Mm, okay, I've been on SSDI for 10 years, wanting to go back to work. What do I explain to employers that I've been doing? Yeah, I mean, I'd be straight with them. Just say, listen, I, I haven't been working. I've been on Social Security disability. I've had health issues. I'm better now, and I can get back to it. Um, I do have a suggestion on that. If you want to build your way up to it and you're looking to go back into work, is um, is look for things to do that you can kind of like resume build. There's volunteer options. There's places that are easy to get, like 2 3 hour a day shift work, that you can demonstrate to yourself and your body that you can work part-time before you go into full-time. Those would be some suggestions, like centers for independent living that we commonly talk about. They're a great place to volunteer, and they actually do pay some people. Um, and they have back to work resources there, so you could work there, kind of get comfortable with the work environment, and then build on that. Um, all right, I am something for a review. Oh, you're up for a review. Panicking. I got a letter back saying they will contact my doctor. Yeah. They're going to look at the medical records similar to what they do in the initial application process. If they're, so they've sent you a short form, maybe a long form to start, and now they're going to look at take a deeper dive into your medical records and see what your treatment history is, like how frequently you've been to the doctors. They'll likely look if there's any limitations that have been noted in your medical records that support that you can't work. Those are the types of things that they're gonna look for. But you put the word panicking in there, and I don't know if this is gonna help set you at ease or make it any better. But what's been done has been done. It's based on what's in your records now. You can react if it's not favorable. Then you have two choices. You can either let them stop your check and appeal it, or you can keep your check and appeal it. Um, if it's not favorable, there'll be more information. Actually, we have a continuing disability review expert that I have an interview with. Attorney Jim Brown coming up that you'll have access to. So, and that should be out within like probably 3 weeks. So stay tuned. I know there's a lot of these reviews, and there's reviews where people are just getting shut off like really quick, like within 30 days. So for those of you that are not up for a review, or for anybody, please don't take this lightly. If you value your disability income, follow the directions that we provide you both on this channel and through our membership about uh, what to do for doctoring, what to say to your doctors, what to make sure it's in your medical records when you review them, to make sure that you're doing your own disability insurance steps. Right? Okay. All right. We have somebody here. It's at 75% complete. Um, And how can I send new medical records? I have grade 4 cartilage damage. Okay, well, you can send new medical records. When you started your disability application, you would have been sent, or should have been sent, um, a uh, like I guess call it a welcome package, but it has a letter with a barcode on it, and you can, if you can't find it, then you can contact your local office, the place that is managing your case, and ask for it. So you put a barcode on top of it. You can fax it. I don't know how the local office that you're working with is receiving information. If you can send it via email, or you can drop it off. But the offices are still closed. They're working on, trying to get some deal together where you can get back in there. But that means that the best way to do it is just send it in electronically. But make sure you keep a copy and send it registered receipt, so that they have to sign for it. Okay. How do I go from temporary disability to permanent disability? Okay, well, there in the Social Security world, there is no temporary disability. It's either you're disabled or you're not. Um, and there's no percentage. It's either you get your check or you don't. If you're on temporary disability, that sounds like it's from work. Um, and if you're on temporary disability, I'm going to take a stab at it and say you're on short term disability from work. Might be a 3 month period that you're on disability. So, whoever is paying you this, whatever the company is, you would want to go back through that application channel. Maybe it's through human resources at work, or maybe you have policy that's direct, and you want to apply for your long-term disability benefits that are out there. And that would take you, that's my understanding of what you would be doing going from what you're calling temporary to permanent. Okay, had some great questions here, folks. I can't figure out a weekly income to stay below 970. Example, $200 a week in the months. Okay. All right. Well, keep in mind, so you're going over the limit. You're at $1,000, but if you the some things that you should factor in there is work related, impairment related work expenses. And if you type that exact word into the search on this YouTube channel, then you'll find videos that cover that, or contact support. Um, and then if you're earning 1,000 and you've got, $200 or whatever it is in impairment related work expenses, then that could reduce the amount. If you're doing this as an sole proprietor, you're not working and getting a W-2, then it would be all of your expenses, the impairment related, your cost of doing business, which is your phone, your computer, uh, mileage, all that stuff you need to factor in, and it would, it would be based on your tax returns. So, um, but if it's straight 1,000, you've got no write-offs, you're over the limit. I don't know what else to tell you on that one. Okay. Been on disability. This is John. Been on disability since 2017 with an MIP classification and have not had a review ever. I'm 62, just wondering if they will ever, since I'm near retirement. I've known people that are 64 getting reviews. So there's no certainty or uncertainty. What I can share with you is what is in the Social Security budget. They have $1.7 billion that they've allocated to do disability reviews. Um, and they're doing the most amount of reviews they've ever done with that money, and they do them because in their mind, they're finding people that don't qualify, they're taking them off of benefits, and they're saving money. So um, I don't know whether you will or whether you won't. That's just too crystal ballish, but I'd be prepared for it. That's my best advice. All right. This one is from Gary. Couple of questions. Got awarded last September. Good for you. I received 3.5 years of back pay. I bet that was nice. Um, Working on federal taxes. Will this back pay be subject to taxes? Yes, I'm not a tax guy, but it will be. It's right in your award letter. Um, I received 3 months of back pay for 2021 as well. Yeah, I'm going to stay in my lane on this one. I would refer, because I'm not a tax guy, and I would refer to your award letter. And if you don't have a tax guy and you're taking this upon yourself, then I would just understand that you are subject to paying taxes. There's a couple components in there, but it is again spelled out in your award letter. If you don't have your award letter, log into your My SSA account. It might still be there. If not, then contact the local office. Um, okay. If you are on disability, how can you go about getting your phone reduced? Um, so there is on this channel, or for members, there's a the topic "How to Survive." Just search that, and there's 7 different resources in that video website. Um, and the program is called NBB, National Broadband, and the short story on it is um, internet service and having a phone is not viewed to be a luxury, it's viewed to be a necessity. And if you meet certain income needs, a certain income, then you can have it reduced or eliminated. I've known people that have got new phones. right? Um, so definitely check that out. Um, okay, I think that covers it. Let me see. I've been on short-term disability for almost a year. My doctors say I am permanently disabled at least until I get a kidney and liver, pancreas. What do I do now? Well, I don't know what you have done, and this is from Carissa. I like that name. Um, but if you're not able to work and you are in need of income, that's what your Social Security disability income is there for. I would definitely take action and pursue getting your disability benefits started. That would be my advice. Um, and then, if perhaps when you get your kidney and your liver and your pancreas situation sorted out, you, you can you can return to work. But for right now, if you can't work, um, that'd be my best advice. Um, you have also have an additional question. Will my award amount be less? I don't know what you mean by that. For let me address it this way. If you don't know what your Social Security disability check amount would be, and you haven't applied, then log in to or create an account at my SSA, ssa.gov, um, and go to the estimated benefits tab. And underneath there, when you scroll down, you'll see three Social Security amounts. One, your disability amount. Two will be the amount that if you take it at 62, and then your full retirement amount. That will give you your amount. Your check is your check. The only thing that impacts your check is if you work more or you work less. But if you can't work, then the longer that you wait, that check is going to go down and go away actually after 5 years. Um, okay. No. Okay. So it's just your disability check is based on your work history, um, and largely influenced by the last 10 years. So if you have had, let's say you're a nurse. And you've been making, $100,000 a year over the last 10 years, your check amount is going to be, let's say, $2,600. If you were somebody that had a job that had a $50,000 per year over the last 10 years, then I'm just using examples. Your check amount could be $1,400 a month. So the more tax you paid, the higher your check amount. Okay. Great. Listen, folks, that's all the time that I have for today. I want to thank you all for your fantastic questions that you've had, both submitted in advance from the likes of Mario and Michelle. Here at the Disability Digest, if you're new here or haven't subscribed, we definitely encourage you to do that. Select the bell so you get notifications for our live events and our videos that we're going to be released. If you are a member or a member that hasn't updated us in a while, we encourage you to join us as a member or update your membership so that we can understand where you're at and help you with a customized, personalized approach to help you get, keep, or maximize your disability benefits. All right, everybody, make it a great day. Until the next time, thanks again.